Tuesday. From Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders.
It is a city that traditionally gets much less snow than its Buckeye State rival up in Cleveland, but we are under a thick blanket of the white stuff here at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's the former Auburn kicker, Daniel Carlson, to get this one started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Here we go. 180.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Mike 42, Mike 42.
First down, here's Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Burrow looking to pass. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Burrow. Buying time to his left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now Burrow on first down. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he gets this up just shy of the 15.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. To throw is Carr. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Carr, he'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Now a carry for Jacobs. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
8 yards to go on second down.
Here we go, kids, get off the field.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, it's Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Carr gonna throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their 1st drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Carr gives to Richard. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain. That's into the hands of Edwards. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then. And now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Here's Carr. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Here's a give to Richard. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Carr now to throw. He's got it. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up fourth down.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. Fourth and goal from the 2. Carr to throw for it on fourth down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau there to make the grab. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Or these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So that, amazingly, a 17-play drive. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Going up top. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. A handoff to Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Evades him at the 20. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Burrow will throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
Here we go.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he's got his big tight end here. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's fourth and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Jalen Richard going to take it out of his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Carr, and this will be caught by Edwards. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr. And his throw here's incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
The Raiders on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10. Now Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
McPherson now to send it away. This taken in at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Into the secondary, past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. On the draw, Richard, and he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play's supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they have possession. And they have it at the 38-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing is Carr on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So Carr exits on fourth down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this score will stay right where it is. Ready to go on offense, out come the Bengals. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Burrow. Quick slant caught by Chase. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big play there on the catch and run.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Joe Mixon. About 3 yards there to the 27. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. McPherson's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this 1st half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Richard going to bring it out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. But a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Richard. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range off 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man is Uzama. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
First down, here's Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards, and it'll make it second down.
Here we go. Let's bring it. 40 yards.
Now Mixon. Nifty move. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Burrow looking to pass. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. Richard going to bring it out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. B.J. Hill forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing second and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 14. Throwing now is Carr. Down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And another juke. Still going. They can't stop him. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now Burrow on first down. Open man is Higgins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They're going to look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And Burrow going to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McPherson on for the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And no return forthcoming for Richard as this will come out to the 25. And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Carr to throw. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw is Carr. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Carr, and his throw is incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. Jalen Richard now on the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. This is Richard. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Good footwork at the... He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
McPherson now for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Here comes Richard on the return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Once again, it's Jacobs. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Carr. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
On one, ready?
42. He's tired of me. He's tired of 42 smart.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Second and 5. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. To the air again, Burrow. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's Kevin Huber now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at about the 32. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Hey, man, let's play our game.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The ground, Richard, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 15. Now Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr now to throw. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On 1, ready?
42, Mike's 42.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Got Mike 42.
Now Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Mike 42, Mike 42.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Throwing to start the drive. Carr, he'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Again, it's Burrow. There's a short one caught by Uzomah. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. His throw incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Turtles hunt. 52, 52. Hey, man.
Burrow will throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think his pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Raiders now set to get the football back and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Carr gonna throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Carr. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side.
Personal foul, roughing the passer for defense.
Man, why are we doing this?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
On that 1st down.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. To throw, it's Carr. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Carr completes it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield but what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Now Carr. Man open, here is Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
With the score where it is, this was probably going to be 4-down territory if they didn't convert there. But what a nice job of working his way open, making sure he secured the catch, and setting up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
This is a tough situation offensively because down 3 scores, the field goal kicker's not even going to come into play here. As an offensive play caller, though, you know you have to take chances. This is the time to get creative.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Raiders are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2.
57, Mike, 57.
Carr will look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 155 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Again, it's Mixon. And he's got a Bengals 1st down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, here's Mixon. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back to Mixon on second down. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4th quarter deficit. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Not much there, only a yard.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 9. Throwing now is Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun on third down, Carr, a slant to Jones. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now, Carr again. A short one here, secured by the tight end, Waller. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 39, Carr. Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Carr to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Cincinnati set to take over once again. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Mike 42, check, Mike run.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. It's a screen to Richard. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 22, Carr drops this off to Richard. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Carr. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Boy, 194 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
On second down, Mixon. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Yannick Ngakoue picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's McPherson now to send it away. No return here for Richard, and that will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Carr. He'll swing this one out to Richard. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. To throw is Carr. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. 212 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A handoff to Mixon. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing 2 things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out like the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.